Hello and welcome back to the FPL show. Now, have you ever wondered, I mean, I could only dream of what it feels like to be near the top of the FPL overall rankings, but we found someone who knows exactly how that feels, and we're going to talk to him right now. Yes, it is a big FPL show. Welcome to FPL Oscar. We have got FPL Focal, should I say, Oscar joining us now, who is second in the world right now. I mean, this is incredible to have you on the show, Oscar. Tell us, how does it feel?
Yeah, feeling great. Yeah, thanks for inviting me on. This is my 11th season playing now, and it's by far the highest rank I've ever been in that time. So, the pressure's on, and I suppose it's about as tough as green arrows go with just the one manager in front of me at the moment who I'm trying to overtake. I started an FPL YouTube channel just in lockdown as a hobby. And it's ended up quite the journey documenting the season so far. But good to have FPL back. Looking forward to Gameweek 12.
Well, what you have in front of you at the moment, Oscar, is a very adorable hound. Who's that there?
He's lovely.
Yeah, this is my dog here, Teddy, as well. Yeah, he was also something I got in lockdown along with the YouTube. So I'm working from home today. Don't tell the boss.
Does he help pick your captain every week like Gianni's dog does?
Yeah, he's actually the mastermind, like Ratatouille. Yeah, I put a few names by a treat and I let him pick the captain.
Seriously?
No, not really.
I was wondering because he's got to have some trick to get number 2 in the world.
Yeah, true.
It might be dogs. Yeah. I don't know. What you did last game week was particularly clever, and I say that, Oscar, because I did the same thing. We both bench boosted. Let's have a quick look at
how you got above me.
Yeah. Let's have a look at your game week 11 team. And well, first of all, what made you bench boost last time out?
Great minds, James. I didn't realise you did the same. Yeah, I
didn't get as many points. You got 104 points.
I did, yeah. Admittedly, I got very lucky with Foster. He was the player I was counting on the least there for any points. But he obviously saved the penalty. As an Arsenal fan as well, it was probably about the best outcome there, a safe penalty, but Smith Rowe scoring.
Right.
So I couldn't complain. But yeah, I'd always wanted to try it in a single game week. I think if you're active in the FPL community, it's easy to get drawn into what everyone's doing. And historically, I'd always used it in the double game weeks, since the chip was first introduced to the game. But I suppose you're forced into doing a late wildcard if you do it that way, in preparation for the bench boost. So, I figured, if I use it early, it gives me some flexibility and takes that pressure off. And like I say, I got lucky with Foster, let's be honest.
Yeah, very nice. I'm liking the look of your team there as well, Oscar. What have been the key sort of moves you've made? Have there been any differentials that have really got you up the rankings, apart from that bench boost last week? Because you're second in the world. How have you done it?
Yeah, well, a good team out of the gates in Game Week 1 obviously helped. And like I say, some luck along the way. But I picked up a few players right before they hit form, which obviously helps as well. Like Foden, James, Smith Rowe. I picked up Heung-min Son last game week, so I'm hoping he's another one that comes good next. And obviously the fixtures do look great, as you were saying earlier.
So you've already gone in on Son, because we were talking about maybe waiting to see whether it's going to be Son or Kane the better option with Spurs. Do you have any other kind of medium to long-term strategies in place at the moment, Oscar?
Well, this season I've only taken the one hit, so I'm hoping to continue doing the same. I think that's a good strategy. I don't think hits pay off that often, so certainly I intend to do that. And for Game Week 12, the plan is to just roll the transfer, and then I'll decide what I want to do in 13. But I don't think I'll get creative with the remaining chips. I'll probably save them for the blanks and the double game weeks later in the season. Although, if you decide to triple captain in a single game week, James, let me know. I might be tempted to join you again.
Follow suit. Look, I'm intrigued actually to know about your captaincy strategy, because when you're at the top, are you more likely to play it safe? Because obviously I'm only used to being down in the lower end of the ranking, so I can take a few risks. It doesn't really matter too much. But when you're second, is it just a case of sticking with the obvious Salah every single week until the end of the season, or are you still willing to take a risk?
Oh, yeah, good question. I think it's difficult to look beyond Salah with the form he's shown all season. I think there's some feasible alternatives for Game Week 12, like Ronaldo, Son, maybe Kane would be worth a punt. But No, Salah's, I think he's about 50 points clear of any other player. So I'm not going to overthink it for now. So I plan to steer clear of any needless gambles for now. And I think I'll just back, who I think is genuinely the best option, which is kind of obvious, really. But yeah, if I'm somehow still in second by game week 38 and got a few points to make up, ask me again then. Might take a gamble.
I mean, if you were still in second in game week 38, that would be terrifying. That's the thing. I mean, you touched on this a little bit. I think most of us would think that being second in the world in FPL is kind of a dream come true, almost as good as it gets. But is it actually nerve-wracking?
I'd be so stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every second you think, oh my goodness, it's so much to lose.
Yeah, well, like I said, the pressure's on, but I think realistic season targets, I'm hoping for a top 10k finish.
Right.
It's so early in the season at this point.
No, don't say that. You've got to go on and win it now.
I've got to low ball it and hopefully I'll do better. But no, I mean, it's so early in the season, isn't it? We're not even a third of the way through. So
right.
The ranks are volatile this early, so a lot can change. But yeah, like you say, it's everyone's dream to win FPL. But I'm going to take a realistic perspective for now. And the other thing is, there's rumours that there's an FPL show curse after you had...
It certainly hit Jules.
Yeah. Was it Ola Hovde you had on last season? I think he was first for about 10 straight weeks.
Yeah,
and
right.
then he dropped off after his interview.
Yeah,
so
that's not our fault.
Don't blame us.
We didn't pick his team.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I'm looking for an excuse if it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Oscar. On that note, we'll let you go now. Nice to speak to you and to Teddy as well. And best of luck.
Too.
We want to see you get to that #1 spot. We'll chat to you again very soon. Right, it's time now to look ahead to who you guys are being bringing in and out of your teams ahead of Game Week 12.
Your most transferred in player this week is Conor Gallagher. Well over 400,000 of you have brought in the Palace midfielder who's got back-to-back double-digit returns and is now the second highest scoring midfielder in the game behind Mo Salah. And in second place, we've got Reece James, who has over 300,000 new owners with 4 goal involvements in his last 3 matches. He's the third highest scoring defender in the game, despite the fact that he's only started 6 matches.
João Cancelo's third on the list. Over 250,000 of you have brought in the City defender. He's now the second highest scoring player in the game after a 14-point haul last time out. And in fourth, it's Emile Smith-Rowe. The Arsenal midfielder has had 6 goal involvements in his last 6 matches, with a goal in each of his last 3 as well.
Interesting. Players heading out now. The most transferred out player is Brighton keeper Robert Sanchez, who was sent off last time out, so he's suspended for the trip to Aston Villa. Around 200,000 of you have decided to get rid. His most popular replacement is Southampton's Alex McCarthy. And then we have Jamie Vardy. Over 150,000 managers have sold the frustrating Fox forward after 3 blanks in a row. And around a third of those moves have been a straight switch to Harry Kane.
And it wouldn't be an FPL show with me here without mentioning Marcus Alonso. He's in third place. The left wing back hasn't played a single minute of Chelsea's last 5 league games. He's now injured as well. And finally, we have got Danny Ings. He's also injured, and we're not sure when he's going to be back. His most popular replacement is Wolves' Raul Jimenez.
Alrighty, Danny Ings, one of the players we might be discussing next, actually, as we look at the 3 clubs who are hoping to benefit from a new manager bounce. Quite extraordinary. We've got 3 new managers kicking off their new careers with Premier League clubs this weekend. We're going to have a look at how that's going to impact on the players from those clubs in fantasy terms. Let's start with Eddie Howe at Newcastle, and particularly what impact we think it's going to have on the forwards, like Alan Saint-Maximin and, of course, Callum Wilson, who did brilliantly for him, injury permitting, when the 2 of them, Eddie Howe and Callum Wilson, were at Bournemouth. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I really like the appointment. Newcastle historically have liked to play front foot football, attacking football. The home supporters like that. Eddie Howe will bring that to St James's Park for sure. We know that they'll be quite expansive, although they will probably concede quite a few goals as well if his time at Bournemouth is anything to go by. They scored lots but conceded lots. But Wilson's someone that we know will benefit. You look at players like Fraser and Ritchie, but even more so Wilson, 3 guys he had at Bournemouth. We know he likes, he builds his team round. I expect Wilson to clock up some serious numbers.
Are you looking at Callum Wilson as?
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle can't get any worse from an attacking point of view. They're bottom of all teams for their underlying numbers. The fixtures are OK over the next sort of, 6-7 games. I mean, they've got Norwich, they've got Burnley at home, which I like. Wilson's the one I'd go for, but he is pricey. I mean, he's in the 7 million bracket, which is quite a lot. I like him. I think game week 14, I might be considering him.
All right. Just to flag up the fact they're facing Brentford this weekend, who've lost 4 games in a row. Newcastle have yet to win a game this season, but 2 clubs who had yet to win a game this season picked up their first wins when facing Brentford. That's Norwich and Burnley. So, just saying.
Yeah, it just shows how quickly things can turn around. 3 or 4 weeks ago, everyone was talking about how great Brentford are, offensively and defensively, and now they're almost the underdogs going to this Newcastle game.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Steven Gerrard is set to make his Premier League debut in the dugout as Aston Villa boss against Brighton this weekend. We know that Danny Ings isn't going to be available for this one, Gianni. So what does that mean for Ollie Watkins?
Yeah, I mean, we should see Watkins lead the line as the number 9. We know from his time at Rangers, Gerrard plays a 4-3-3. So Watkins as the lone striker, maybe Bailey and Buendia supporting. Watkins did so well last year. He hasn't really turned it on this year, and I don't know if Danny Ings coming into the team has necessarily helped him. The fixture run is tough for Gerrard, so at the moment it's a wait and see on Villa assets for me.
Okay, yeah, because we're still unsure when Danny Ings is going to return. And in terms of the fixtures, they do look a little bit tricky for Aston Villa and Steven Gerrard's team. What are you going to do? Do you want to wait and see what style of football they play and how he uses these forwards before you make a move?
Absolutely. I mean, Ings is probably the only one I'd look to consider out of all of them. I'm not too convinced on Watkins as an FPL asset. I think Gerrard's got the best squad of players to work with out of the 3 managers that we mentioned. It's just getting the system right, because that's what Smith seemed to struggle with, fitting all these players they brought in and working without Grealish. That's going to be the challenge for Gerrard. And when he gets that right, then they might start to come into it. But for now, it's a wait and see.
Okay. What about Dean Smith at Norwich, though? Major differential potential there.
Yeah.
They won their last game. And do you think with the arrival of Dean Smith that maybe the likes of Teemu Pukki could become an option for us?
Yeah, I mean, off the back of a win and now the home advantage for this game at the weekend, they've had 2 weeks on the training ground as well. With a huge amount of the Norwich squad don't travel for internationals. They'll be training in Norwich. Pukki is definitely the one. We know the penalty appeal is there. We know he can go on runs in the Premier League. We saw that at the start of last season. He's very affordable as well. It'll be interesting to see how Smith sets the team up. We just don't quite know what he's going to do with that squad. It's a squad of often nearly men, and Dean Smith's got to build it to put his own stamp on it. So for me, I just want to wait and see again.
All right, then.
OK, let's take a look now at a team who at the other end of the table, West Ham, are flying in 3rd place. So let's look at their FPL assets ahead of their trip to Wolves. Well, it is 4 wins in a row for West Ham, notably that stunning victory over Liverpool last time out. And looking at their fixtures coming up, they have got Wolves away this weekend, but Man City and Chelsea to come soon after that. What do you think about owning West Ham assets, and how many should we have in our team going forward, looking at that fixture run where it does get a little bit tricky with the City, Brighton, Chelsea game, but then looking further ahead, looks quite nice, Gianni.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham have shown under Moyes they're kind of fixture-proof. They've turned up in recent weeks against Liverpool. We've seen them beat Man City not too long ago. So those difficult fixtures shouldn't matter too much for the likes of Antonio, who will get chances against anyone. Covering that West Ham attack seems to be the one for me, because they've been conceding goals, single goals, 1 or 2, but they are scoring lots. And if you can score lots against Liverpool, you're doing something right.
Well, that's true. Let's talk about Mikel Antonio, because they have been scoring lots, and not just against Liverpool. And he hasn't been getting the goals himself. He's been doing the assist for the assist, or distracting defenders, or whatever it is. Does that mean that he's no longer someone you'd be looking at in terms of your fantasy team?
I don't know, but I mean, he's one of those players. Every time I watch him play and he blanks, I think, how was he blanked in this game? Even the last game, I think he was through on goal and he kind of fell over his own feet and could have scored that. He's still playing at a really, really high level. The goals he scored, for Jamaica in the international break, everyone's looking at Harry Kane. Yeah, runs past everyone for one, outside of the box for the other. He's a man in form, leading the line for one of the league's best attacks. I don't think we should be writing him off just because of a few blanks.
Okay. Jared Bowen, though, is a player who I think a few people have on their radar because of his price and because pretty much in every game for West Ham he starts and he's involved in the goals. What do you make of him? Is he actually the standout pick from the midfield players?
Yeah, I think for sure. And not everyone can stretch to Antonio, who's gone up in value. And you look at Bowen and think that's a cheaper route to the attack. He's also probably the most advanced of these three. Fornals, Benrahma and Bowen are all very good options, but Bowen does at the moment seem to be the pick. He's also on quite a lot of set pieces, and West Ham score a lot from set pieces.
Yes, they do.
A name that popped up on a lot of people's radars a couple of weeks ago was Ben Johnson, who's dirt cheap and scored a goal. And there was a bit of a question mark about whether he would continue in the team or whether he was just in for that match. But he's been keeping his spot in the side, even though Souček's been back. So far it's been back.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Alonso and Chilwell at Chelsea, two players that are good quality players, but it now looks like Chilwell's got the spot because of these amazing performances and, usurped Alonso. Whereas I think that's exactly what's happened with Ben Johnson. I think he's now first choice, given the performances he put in. And
what about the injury to Ogbonna, which is likely to be long-term now?
Yeah, I think looking at West Ham's fixtures, particularly in the short term, going for their defensive players isn't the smartest move. But at 4 million, he's someone who can just sit on your bench until the fixtures get better.
OK, better sell Creswell now then, hey?
I think so.
Oh, what a shame. All right, we're going to take a break now. When we return, still plenty more to come. We're going to be seeing these guys' teams. We're also going to be answering your Twitter questions, and we'll find out who we should all be captaining this week. See you in a bit.